Now, welcome to Module 4 of palm oil farming course. And Module 4 covers farm maintenance and best practices. It's one thing to establish a farm, it's another thing to take care of or maintain the farm. So, what is even farm maintenance? Farm maintenance is the continuous and essential aspect of palm oil farming that ensures healthy plant growth and sustained productivity. After successful planting and establishment, oil palm trees require regular care and management to achieve optimal yields over their long productive lifespan. So, proper farm maintenance involves activities such as fertilization, weed control, pest and disease management, and even adherence to best farming practices. Okay, so by the end of this module, you should be able to explain the importance of fertilizer in oil palm farming. You should be able to identify appropriate methods of weed and pest control, apply best practices for maintaining a healthy plantation, recognize harmful practices and how to avoid them, and also demonstrate practical understanding through assessment. So let's talk about application of fertilizer. Fertilization is the agronomic practice of supplying essential nutrients to oil palm trees in order to support their growth, development, and sustained fruit production. So, oil palm is classified as a heavy feeder crop. What this means is that it continuously absorbs large quantity of nutrient from the soil throughout its productive life cycle, which like I mentioned previously, may span over 20 to 25 years. Therefore, without proper and consistent fertilization, soil fertility declines over time, leading to reduced yield, even poor plant health. It can lead to poor plant health and even economic losses. So, fertilization is important. It's very important. It plays a vital role in ensuring optimal growth and productivity of oil palm plantation, because it can improve the fruit yield and quality. It can also prevent nutrient deficiency. It can enhance resistance to pests and diseases, and even sustains long-term soil fertility. Now, we have different types of fertilizers. Fertilizers are divided into organic fertilizers and inorganic fertilizers. Now, when we say organic fertilizers, these are fertilizers that are derived from natural sources, and they include materials that decompose to release nutrients slowly into the soil. So examples include compost, animal manure. When we say animal manure, I'm referring to either cow dung, poultry droppings, and so forth. Then you talk about plant residues. So these are examples of organic fertilizers. So they are derived from natural resources. And when we say plant residues, what we are talking about is palm fronds, empty fruit bunches, and even other agricultural waste. So these are called organic fertilizers. Organic fertilizers are very important. Okay, so let's talk about inorganic fertilizers. When we say inorganic fertilizers, they are chemically manufactured fertilizers. They provide nutrients in concentrated and readily available forms. Okay, so they are chemically manufactured, so they do not occur, they are not derived from natural sources. Examples of such fertilizers include NPK fertilizers. NPK stands for nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium blends. Okay, then urea, which is high nitrogen content, and potassium-based fertilizers such as that of potash. Okay, so both types are very important and need to be used appropriately. Now, let's talk about essential nutrients for oil palm. Oil palm requires several essential nutrients for its optimal growth and productivity. So these nutrients perform specific physiological functions in the plant. For instance, if we talk about nitrogen, nitrogen promotes leaf development, it promotes vegetative growth and also photosynthesis efficiency. Then another nutrient, very important nutrient, is phosphorus. Phosphorus supports strong root development, energy transfer, and early plant establishment. Potassium is also an important essential nutrient for oil palm, and it enhances fruit formation, oil synthesis, and overall yield quality. Then magnesium is an essential component of chlorophyll, so it's responsible for green leaf coloration and photosynthesis. Now, deficiency in any of these nutrients that I mentioned can significantly reduce growth rate and productivity, making balanced fertilization essential. So it's important to balance fertilization. Now there are different methods of fertilizer application. Okay, there are different methods of fertilizer applications to ensure balance. So for instance, there's what we call broadcasting. In broadcasting, fertilizer is evenly spread over the soil surface around the plant. It is simple, but may result in nutrient loss if not properly managed. Then the second is ring application. This involves applying fertilizer in a circular band around the base of the plant, usually at the drip line where active roots can absorb nutrients efficiently. So another way is spot application. Spot application is when we place fertilizer in a specific hole or point in the soil near the root zone to ensure direct nutrient uptake and also reduce wastage. Now let's talk about weed control. Now, what are weeds? Weeds are unwanted plants that grows within or around the oil palm plantation. They are highly competitive and can significantly reduce crop performance. Okay, so if it is not properly controlled, it competes with the oil palm and reduce its performance. So that is why there is a need to control weed. So weed can compete with oil palm. They can compete for nutrients, they can compete for water, they can compete for sunlight. Okay, so there is a need to control it. So what are the methods of weed control? First, we can do manual weeding. This involves the use of simple farm tools. Okay, it involves physical removal of weeds using simple tools such as cutlass, hoes, and knives. This is the most common method, especially among subsistence farmers. It is suitable for small-scale plantation where mechanization or commercial farming is not available. So it also allows for selective removal of weeds, without damaging the oil palm roots. Okay, but it have to be done very carefully. It also requires regular labor inputs to remain effective. Now, although this method of weed control is labor intensive, it is more environmentally friendly and cost effective, okay, for small farms. Then we have what we call mechanical weeding. Mechanical weeding involves the use of machines and equipment to remove or control the weeds. So this is very important in large-scale oil palm plantations. It include the use of tractors, brush cutters, and even other mechanical tools. Simply put, it involves the use of machine. Okay, so however, it requires significant investment and proper handling to avoid damaging oil palm roots. Then another type of weed control is the use of chemicals. The use of chemicals such as herbicides. Chemical control involves the use of herbicides to kill or suppress weed growth. So these herbicides are applied directly to weeds or soil surface. But it requires strict adherence to safety guidelines, correct dosage, and even timing of application. Then the fourth method of weed control is mulching. Mulching simply means covering the soil surface around oil palm trees with organic materials such as dry leaves, palm fronds, grasses, and even crop residues. So mulching is a very sustainable and cost-effective weed control because it is environmentally friendly. So let's talk about pest control. What are pests? Pests are organisms that damage oil palm plants by feeding on the leaves, the stems, the roots, or even the fruits, and this will reduce the plant health and productivity. Common pests that we can find, common pests of oil palm include insects such as caterpillars, beetles, and weevils, especially at the early stage. Then rodents. Rodents can feed on the seedlings or young plant parts. We also have other organisms like leaf-eating organisms, which can damage the foliage and reduce photosynthetic capacity. So this pest attack can lead to defoliation. It can reduce the growth of the oil palm. It can lead to poor fruit formation, and in severe cases, it can even lead to the death of the plant. So what are the methods of controlling these pests? First, we can make use of cultural method. Cultural control involves farm management practices that reduces pest population and breeding conditions. Then we can also use biological control. This involves the use of natural predators, natural enemies to manage pest population. We can introduce predators such as birds, insects, and even parasitic organisms. This method is particularly environmentally friendly and it supports sustainable agriculture. We can also make use of chemicals. We can make use of pesticides, to eliminate or reduce the population of these pests. Now, very important, let's talk about integrated pest management, IPM. Now, integrated pest management is just a comprehensive and sustainable approach that combines multiple pest control strategies to achieve effective and long-term pest management. So this combines all the methods to ensure sustainability. Now let's talk about the do's in palm oil farming. Now the do's in palm oil farming includes 1. Use certified high quality seedlings. Apply fertilizers correctly. Weed regularly. Monitor pests and diseases. Maintain proper spacing and practice good farm sanitation. These practices or do's promote healthy and productive plantation. Now let's talk about the don'ts and common maintenance mistakes. The don'ts in oil palm farming include 1. Ensure to avoid overcrowding plants. Do not overuse chemicals. Do not neglect farm maintenance. Avoid poor quality seeds and do not ignore disease symptoms. Now, common mistakes to watch out is irregular fertilization, poor weed control, lack of monitoring, and even ignoring soil health. You can see farm maintenance is not just about planting this oil palm. So in oil palm farming, farm maintenance is very important if you want to have a sustained healthy oil palm plantation. So with consistent maintenance, farmers can achieve sustainable and profitable palm oil production. Thank you.